Hello, I'm Lisa Cregan, former equestrian and managing director, head of field leadership, readiness, and acquisition at Morgan Stanley. Welcome to the Climb, Pause, Lift series, which is designed to attract female athletes transitioning from sports to wealth management. The skills, attributes, and experiences you developed as high-level athletes match what it takes to succeed at Morgan Stanley. I invite you to join us. Bring your winning spirit and skills from sports to a dynamic career at Morgan Stanley. Today, I'm joined by Pendleton Bogache. Pendleton, thank you so much for joining us.
Lisa, thank you so much for having me.
Pendleton's a private wealth advisor at Morgan Stanley in New York City, where she works primarily with entrepreneurs and multi-generational families, and she's passionate about empowering them to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Prior to her career at Morgan Stanley, Pendleton was a 4-year player and senior year captain of Georgetown women's golf team. She continues to compete in amateur golf tournaments, recently qualifying for the 2022 and 2023 USGA Women's Mid-Am. So Pendleton, you decided to explore internship opportunities in wealth management while in college. How did that happen? And how did you balance the internship with your competitive schedule?
That's right, Lisa. Well, the most challenging thing was not necessarily balancing the internship. It was getting the internship. Nowadays, and even when I was in school, in order to get an internship, you had to have internship experience. And that was really challenging as an athlete in college. I quite frankly felt like I was at a disadvantage compared to normal students. I'll never forget, I attended an information session for a finance club that was known on campus as being a really great resume booster. And it conflicted with my practice time, and so I showed up late for the last 10 minutes in my golf clothes with golf clubs in my hand and my backpack on my back, and I just felt like I didn't belong. And I was so fortunate through my time at Georgetown to sort of learn about certain things that I would like and I wouldn't like, and discovered the wealth management industry, and I thought that it would be a great fit for my skill sets and my personality. So I felt like I figured it out, but then the next step was, how do I get an internship in wealth management? And I had an interview scheduled with a firm that was during my practice time. And so the day before, I went up to my coach and I told her I had this interview and asked if it would be okay to miss practice. And she said, sure, I understand. And then I went up to my assistant coach and I asked him the same question. And to my surprise, he said, absolutely not. You cannot go to that firm. You have to go to Morgan Stanley. And more importantly, you have to talk to my wife, Lisa Cregan.
I love that.
It was such a special moment, and it's something that I will never forget. And it's really thanks to you, Lisa, that I now have my career in wealth management.
So how did your career in golf prepare you for a career in wealth management?
There was a moment in particular in my internship where I was watching a private wealth advisor reallocate a client's portfolio. And this was the moment that I knew my skill set was perfect for this industry. It was amazing to me. All within about 30 seconds, he was able to think about what's going on in the macroeconomy, any geopolitical risk, where are the market's trading right now, what are corporate earnings looking like, what is the client's risk tolerance, what is their time horizon. I could go on with all the factors that he had to take into account. And he made a decision so quickly, and it made me think about when I'm on the golf course and I step up to a shot. I also have to take into account so many factors. The yardage, where the pin is on the green, the wind, the lie, how I'm hitting it that day, and then I decide what shot to execute. And so despite not having the knowledge at the time to do what he did, I knew I had the skill set that it took to become a successful financial advisor.
And do you think that that we should have more women financial advisors? What have your experiences been as a female financial advisor?
Absolutely. I truly feel like it is such an advantage to be a woman in this business. Our chief U.S. economist, Ellen Zentner, also a very powerful woman, said that currently 50% of homeowners are women. And by the year 2040, 45% of adult women will be single. Those numbers are staggering. So much money is going into the hands of women. And from my experience, women want at least the opportunity to work with another woman. So there are so many advantages and tailwinds to being a female financial advisor. I also think it's just such a great career for women. Women are naturally suited to want to have a conversation and learn about someone genuinely. This is not a transactional business. This is a very relationship-driven business, and I really am so grateful that I found it.
What advice would you give to a female athlete considering a career in wealth management?
I have a lot of advice to share on this topic because originally I had no idea that I wanted to go down this path. I thought that working in finance in any capacity meant sitting behind an Excel spreadsheet all day, and that did not sound particularly attractive to me. My first piece of advice would be to focus on crafting your story. I was in the undergraduate business school, but I majored in marketing and psychology, and I had to really tell my story in a way that fit the wealth management business. So what I said was everything comes down to sales. Whether you're selling a product or your firm or yourself, that sales would be such a powerful experience and expertise in this business. So that's how I crafted my story. The second thing that I would share is that you never know who in your life is going to be helpful. Little did I know when I started my golf career at Georgetown that the person who would be the most impactful in my career, I would meet through one of my coaches. So always put your best foot forward. The last thing that I would share is if someone takes the time to have a conversation with you about a career, or you meet someone interesting who you think may be helpful in the future, keep in touch. You would be shocked how many people I have a 30-minute conversation with and I'm eager to help them, but maybe I don't hear from them for a while, or maybe ever. So following up, staying in touch, some great ways to do that. If you see an article that you think the person may enjoy, send it to them. Ask how they're doing. Reach out and ask specific questions. I know we have such a great relationship now, but what people don't realize is it started with a phone call, and it started with getting to know each other and staying in touch. And I'm just so eternally grateful, Lisa.
Thank you, Pendleton. Thanks for sharing your story today. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I'm hoping you'll explore opportunities to transition from your sport to a dynamic career at Morgan Stanley. And I ask you all to embrace my mantra to climb and develop your career, then at every step along the way, pause and lift someone coming behind. Morgan Stanley is a destination firm that welcomes, coaches, and guides all talented individuals to grow and succeed. To learn more, scan the QR code on your screen or go to the web URL. Until next time, I'm Lisa Cregan. Let's change the face of wealth management together.